What's up, everybody? It's Ben Rothwell, and you're watching the Bare Knuckle Show, and it's Fight Week.
Here we go, baby. It is Fight Week. You heard Ben Rothwell talking about it. I'm excited. Get ready to head to Salt Lake City, Utah. That's why they got like the ski school graphic behind me. I'd break my legs if I was skiing. Broken Brandon's here today. Evan Eviebutt, he's already there. He's snowboarding, having a good time with the Bucked Up crew. So maybe we'll hear from him later. I don't know. But I do know we have an awesome show for you ahead of the biggest fight that we've ever done. Everybody at the Bare Knuckle office is excited. We are live from Studio 5. This is huge. We can't wait to get there. I know the crowd's going to be pumped, so let's look at all the stuff we're going to do today to get you even more excited. First off, I can tell you, I love it. You love it. You keep saying it. You keep giving us more and more feedback. He always likes to stop by. Lights out Chris Lytle. He's going to be checking in with the Lytle look ahead to BKFC 56. We'll talk about some other stupidity as we always do, and we'll have some fun too, man. We're looking forward to that. Also, the man that's responsible for all this, President David Feldman, supposedly going to be in the studio stopping by. That's right. He's going to be here. I love it. And he's going to be here. Maybe a little State of the Union address ahead of the biggest event of all time, how he's feeling. We're looking forward to talking to President David Feldman. And then also exclusive footage from our chat with Ben Rothwell ahead of his big fight with Todd Duffy coming up in Salt Lake City. BKFC.com to find out more about that if you're new to the product. And we'll do introducing. Love doing these. Ben, Moa, and Mike Jones. So Mike Jones fighting. There you see he's fighting. We learned a little bit about him. And then Ben Moa is also fighting. And I believe that's Leo Bashir's brother. Leo's fought for us before too. Bridger Bashir. So we're going to learn more about both of those guys in a little capsule, little introducing thing we're going to do later. I think it's interesting, a couple things that you might not notice because you're not here. You're not behind the scenes. But before we get started, Brandon, I noticed that today was a lot calmer than normal. It wasn't as chaotic in the studio. It was nice to have some quietness, right? I did. Did you notice that? Usually there's a party down here before we start.
Yeah, I like the party.
I don't. I'm trying to get stuff ready. And then on top of that, I did notice something about you. And I want to ask our audience this.
I hate you. I fucking hate you. I told you not to do this.
Well, you pointed it out. I look, all I did was get my ears lowered. You know, I got my hair cut. You ever hear that term, ears lowered?
No, that's another one. Like Strange Bedfellows. I have no idea what the fuck you're saying.
Put the horse before the apple cart or whatever the other thing is.
Oh,
so my point is, look, I got a little closer on the sides here than I normally would. And I come in and Brandon goes, man, you're trying to rip off my hair. Didn't you say that? Show your hairstyle. Show it.
Well, yeah, I just got a haircut recently, and I mean, my hair sucks. I know it does.
No, it
looks
doesn't.
Like shit,
it's fine. Stop.
But yeah, I got like, kind of that like fade up look with a longer top, and so I look at Soscia today. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, wrong one.
The Invisible Man.
Invisible.
When you said that, you're like, what did you say after that? Do you remember? Because I do. What did you charge me with?
I said you were trying to be like me.
Trying to be like you, right?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here it comes. Here fucking comes.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like you. If I was trying to be like you, I would do this. Let me find something here.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Oh, shit.
I would break stuff. That's
well, now, if something in that studio doesn't work, do not come crying to me because that's not, nope.
Broken Brandon.
I have it on video. I'll replay this. If
All I know is that after last week, when I busted the bucked up can on my head, my computer's still in working order. My head's still kind of working, but that's never fully there. I'm excited that everybody's here. We appreciate it, guys. A lot to get into today, so let's do that now. Oh, this tomfoolery I'm having with Brandon, Broken Brandon over there. I'd like to get into something, well, we like to call it, you know what it's called.
Don't make me come over there and snatch you up off that couch. It's time for mail call.
I'm going to compliment you again. Right on time that comes in. I can't speak. Come in. thebareknuckleshow at gmail.com. We always like to hear from you. You can send your pictures in. We'll add them to the wall. You can ask for shout outs. You can send cool things that you've done, things you think we should talk about. It doesn't always have to be bare knuckle related. If you find a cool video, let us see it. The producers will look at it and we'll try to get it on here. So oh Jesus, I didn't even see this on the rundown. The first thing I want to do, I feel like you guys are trolling me now. If you watched last week, Troy's back. Troy from Miami's back in the mail call here. Troy says, did you receive... This guy's an idiot. Did you receive my email? Did you receive my email about promoting newer fighters? Actually, you know what, Troy? We did receive your email last week. That shows that you don't watch the show enough. But if you go back and watch the show from last week, you can hear what we said to you. We responded. It was very complimentary. We're so proud that you're a fan, Troy. I think you should go back and watch last week's show when we talk about you. I think you'd be very happy. Troy.
You're a wormy cocksucker, you know that? No! I'm just telling you.
All right, was your finger slip over there? Okay, Troy. Anyway, you'll like what we said about you last week, Troy. It's nothing like that, I promise. Moron. So let's move on. Let's move on to better things because this Troy guy's been getting on my nerves every week. Last 2 weeks. Hopefully he goes away. Kai Stewart, HD Davis, big fight, Salt Lake City, excited for it. Got a world title on the line. Kai Stewart is ready, and HD seems ready. We had him on the show last week as well. You can go back and watch the face-off. I think it was awesome as far as to get you excited for the fight if you missed it. Kai Stewart's been doing some interesting marketing. Kai Stewart's doing something he calls the 12 Days of Beatings. The 12 Days of Beatings. We're going to show, I think this was like the third or fourth day. You can check out Kai's Instagram, and I'll give you the handle as this pops up in a second. But for all 12 Days of Beatings, it continues. He dresses up and all. Check it out. Check out the video about Kai, with Kai.
Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome back for day 3 of the 12 Days of Beatings. On the third day of beatings, we stepped up the drill, techniques practiced with purpose and skill. In the focused ambiance, dedication held tight, a symphony of punches to prepare for my fight.
There you go. Oh. Keep going to the Invisible Man.
Yeah.
He's not here yet.
He'll appear eventually.
He's going to show up. So Kai Stewart doing that, it's interesting. It's very creative. He's like a poet, and you didn't know it. He's writing all these wonderful verses, and you can check out as he builds his fight and talks about his title reign in the 12 Days of Beatings on his Instagram. That's at KaiHB145. He'll continue doing that. I think it's up to like the 6th or 7th day now. Very creative of Kai. HD Davis, he's ready. He's there in Utah. He's excited to fight. He thinks this is going to be his victory party. He's already seeing as a victory. He seems very, very confident. I did see something he posted online. I think it was him the other day. It was a text message. It looked to be from someone he respected. It might have been his father. I don't want to misspeak, but basically like a year or so ago saying, you don't want to do this fighting stuff. Think about it. Now he's going for a world title, and that person's going, you know what? I'm so proud of you. It was a cool moment for HD Davis. So a lot going on with that fight there. We're very excited about that and a lot of other stuff as well. Of course, Christine Faria, she returns. We'll look at her more later to fight Beck Rawlings. That's a rematch a lot of people want to see, especially after the cut last time. We'll talk to Lytle about that in a couple minutes. But Christine, I want to show you something with her. Christine, this is really cool. Christine enters the Raja Dome. We have a whole thing where we followed her. There it is, Raja. The Raja Dome. It's the Raja Revolution. You can find them on Instagram at Rasha, R-A-S-H-A, Revolution. And when you go there, it's really cool looking. You check it out. You can upgrade your performance. It's where science meets consciousness, relaxation, stress, there's release, there's everything. It's just all there for you. It helps your focus on mental wellness of these elite athletes like Christine. Helps her out with her competitive edge. That looks comfortable. I'd hang out in there. The system uses sound frequencies to help the brain reprogram. It makes it stronger, more focused. It makes it calm and clear and helps you reach your full potential. That's important. Full potential of consciousness. And you've had people say it's almost like an out-of-body experience, like you're floating. They do so much there, and I want you to check them out. You can do that. They're wonderful. There you see them in the background. That's how you spell it, R-A-S-H-A. They've been amazing so far with Christine. She's speaking very highly of them, and we'll speak highly of them too because I've seen some of the stuff they do. Definitely check it out. On Instagram, you want to contact them at Rasha, R-A-S-H-A, Revolution, and find out more. It's something that'll really help your brain, and we all know that mental wellness, especially when you're elite competitive athletes, even if you're not, it's very, very important. You need relax. That's why I can't speak. I don't go there. You need relaxation in your life. I haven't been able to talk properly for like 2 weeks. What's going on with me, Brandon? I can't figure this out.
Stress.
Stress of trying to put together a show. I agree. A fight. Fun stress, though. Also, Jamie sent an email in here. It says that Jamie likes that we're keeping you updated on what fighters are doing. And Jamie decided that Jamie would keep us updated. First, he says, this is what Crystal Pittman has been up to. Jamie? Oh, posting on Instagram. Okay, thank you for that, Jamie. Jamie, interesting. Okay. Wow. And then, he also wants to tell us, I guess it's a he. Jamie could be a guy or a girl. That would make this more interesting. We got to figure out if Jamie's a guy or a girl who's sending these things in. Taylor Starling, he said this is what she's been up to. This guy, these people. She's probably training for fighting, I would imagine. So if we're just taking pictures. Is that correct, Brandon? Do you think Jamie's a guy or a girl that sent this in? That'll make it a lot more interesting to figure out.
I have no clue.
You just don't want to talk about it. This is scary territory for you. You don't want to say the wrong thing.
I'm busy. I'm switching buttons and stuff.
He's going to talk about it. He's going to get in trouble. No, that was sent in by Jamie. I wonder if Jamie's a dude or a chick. Let us know what you think in the chat. I'm curious. That would make it even more interesting when we find that out. Let's see. Continuing with our email here before we get to Chris Lytle in a minute or two. This is great. He checks in all the time. He said he was actually listening to the show while he drove today. Gator wrestler. Big fan of the show. Helps out with the BKFC Reddit. Does some great interviews. He sent this in. Happy birthday to Gator wrestler's kid, JJ. There I am getting kicked in the face by Lorenzo. Punched by JJ. JJ turned 10 years old. He's double digits now. Actually, JJ sent an autographed picture in, and he's a really cool kid. I mean, we have it hanging up here. It was awesome. So happy birthday, JJ. Happy 10, man. The double digits are awesome. I don't remember what I was doing at 10, but I probably wasn't as cool as JJ, and I'm probably still not now. Happy birthday, my brother. Enjoy your big day. Or I hope you already enjoyed it. Make it a birthday week or a month. Make your dad buy you very expensive birthday presents, all that good stuff. We appreciate you. Thank you for being a fan. It was funny. I transitioned from those photos to a 10-year-old's birthday. We do it all here on the Bare Knuckle Show. You know what I mean? Chris Lights Out Lytle on the way. I have another one before we get to this. This is interesting, and this is not so much BKFC stuff, but they mentioned that I talk about pro wrestling sometimes on here, and someone said, did you see that Sunny, formerly of WWE in the 90s, it says that she got like 17 years in prison for a DUI. Apparently she killed somebody. I did see that, and she's had a lot of problems, and she should be in prison. But what struck me is that if you look at Sunny now, if you don't know, look her up, Sunny, SUNNY, WWE. Look her up on Google, and you can see that she was at one point the most downloaded celebrity woman on AOL, when AOL was still a thing. You've got mail, all that stuff, when the internet was new. And now you see what's happened to her, and it's like night and day. She let herself go. Don't do drugs. A guy that never does drugs will speak out against drugs till he's blue in the face. Chris Lights Out Lytle's here with us. Let's check in with him. How you doing, Chris?
Good, man. Doing great. Yeah, I try not to do drugs. You know, I'm staying away from Sunny. I don't know. She seems like going down the wrong direction route. She
was actually she was a beautiful, beautiful woman. I just, man, she really messed up. Lights Out Lytle, glad to have you. The fans demand you. They get excited when you come on. I do too. I know you're getting ready to head to Salt Lake City. Is that correct?
So excited. I mean, you know, my favorite time of, you know, the week, day, month, whatever, fight night, fight time. And this is the biggest fight of the year. So my favorite time is fight time, and the best fight of the year. So, you know, I'm really excited. This is my favorite time of the year right now. Forget Christmas. It's fight day.
It's like Christmas for you. With this card too, it's like Christmas. I mean, there's so much to unpack here. Let's start. I mean, look, I can't even say lower card because there's not really a lower card on this show, on this fight. I mean, Jimmy Altera Rivera, he's facing the debuting Jeremy Stevens. I mean, this fight is insane that it's like, we talked about this last week, it's 6 down. This could main event anywhere.
Exactly. I mean, not even that. I mean, that one's way down there, but I mean, who else are you going to put him ahead of? You can't do anything. You got all these title fights. You got, you know, the king of violence, who doesn't want to be involved with that. But even the first couple fights, I mean, I'm looking at this card, I'm like, I'm excited about pretty much every fight on this card. You know, I know we got, you know, a couple of guys even starting off, you know the Mike Jones, you know, he's fighting. We've got Trevor, we've got LJ, a couple of guys from the tryouts, and those are the guys from the tryouts that I found, you know. So I'm just like really excited about everybody on this card. I can't believe, you know, from top to bottom, this is definitely one of our most complete.
Yeah, I agree. I know you love the tryouts, so it's always important to you when you see these men and women that you meet at the tryouts and you see them, you know, achieve. And we're going to see more of that. So we're looking forward to that. BKFC.com, the BKFC app. You can find out more about the tryouts, and you should. Chris hosts them. Chris goes to each town. He meets people. He does the Lytle strut, I call it. It's amazing. I've probably making him self-conscious now when he walks all the time. Let's look up. Let's look up higher on the card, which is just crazy. The vacant heavyweight title of the world. These two have fought before. And I said last week, I feel like this fight is going to be awesome and is not getting enough attention, or I don't know if they're talking enough online. I don't know, but I feel like it's glazed over. I'm talking about former heavyweight champion of the world, Arnold Boomaye Adams versus Mick Terrell from England. Mick is a killer. Mick, I heard nothing but amazing things about Mick when he came here the first time when he fought Arnold Adams. And I was very shocked that Arnold, not shocked, I thought we'd see more out of him, and Arnold kind of dispatched him fairly quickly. I know Arnold's very talented, but I thought there'd be more. I heard all this hype about Mick Terrell. It turns out he was sick, right, the first time. So this is a good rematch.
Mark my words, Mick Terrell's coming. He's for real. I mean, he's coming. This guy, you saw what he did last time he fought for us, just walked to his opponent and Banks. I mean, this guy, he's the real deal. The first time I fought Bare Knuckle, he was on the card over in England. You know, this guy's been around for a while. I think maybe his first fight in America. I'm not sure exactly what the problem was there. But, you know, I think you're going to see a different fighter right there. But remember, Adams only really lost. I mean, he lost once due to this inactivity, but then, you know, he was on the verge of winning against, you know, the time he lost his titles last time. But, I mean, he just, you know, he had a questionable call about the count against Belcher, and then this is what it is. So this is a huge fight. These guys are two of the best in the world, without a doubt. And then another fight I don't think is getting any love, any attention. You know, you have Beck Rawls, who's been fantastic, and she's going against Faria, who's been one of our most dominant fighters of all time. That is, you know, not getting any love right now because of all the other great cards, the other great fights right there. So that's usually a main event fight right there, and it's, you know, fourth from the I don't know. It's down there just because there's so many other good fights. This card is unreal, but that one could try and steal the fight of the night.
100%. Everybody wanted this rematch, and it's very interesting to me, this rematch, because there's so much to it. Like last time I was talking to Christine Faria, great spotlight on the app. Watch it if you haven't yet, by the way. But I was talking to her, and I don't know if it all made the spotlight, but she is like, I felt her last time. She said, I felt the power and everything she was supposed to have. She goes, her punches didn't even faze me. But it did seem like, and you've seen this, it did seem like Beck was kind of ready to rock in the second round, or is that when it started? And then they called it because of the cut, I believe. So that's why I want to see it again. Everyone was jacked up for that fight. I'm excited too. It's not getting lost in the shuffle at all in my mind, but I understand what you're saying. There's so much greatness on this card. Another one, a lot of heat to it. Champ, Kai Heftybag Stewart, the Outcast, won it back in Montana from Louis Lopez. Against Louis Lopez, I believe it was vacant at the time, versus HD Davis. Both these guys, young stars. We're all about young talent here. HD is ready to go. He's never been more ready, he says. And, you know, Kai, always ready. Kai has that wrestler grit. He keeps saying that, which I do agree. You learn something of being put through stuff when you're a collegiate wrestler. He wrestled at a high level. Howard Davis, HD Davis, just a tough kid, man. He's a tough kid. He's skilled, and he doesn't know the meaning of quit. And this is his destiny, from what I can see, HD Davis. Like, he's not going to be denied in his mind. But Kai also, his destiny as well, as far as, you know, just keeping that title. That means everything to him. So these guys are going to have a lot of will in this, a lot of will and a lot of skill. Looking forward to that fight.
H.T. Davis, I mean, he's just looking on point right now. Yep. And I know most people that I'm talking to, they think this is just going to be an easy fight. But, you know, what Kai Stewart, that dude, he just knows how to win. I mean, look at him. Every time he goes out there and people are like, oh, he's going to lose this fight. He's going to lose this fight. Dude's a winner. He knows how to win. He knows how to fight you at your worst place, which is going to be his best. I don't care what anybody says. When you crowd, when you pressure, when you get inside, that's tough to deal with. So he has a very good job of getting into that position. He's done well at it. I think Howard Davis has to understand that he's had to be working on these uppercuts, different things to make sure that the fight doesn't stay in close quarters, because if so, it's anybody's game. You don't know.
Yeah, I agree. And the other thing we're looking at, I keep saying, I've said it time and time again, Kai said the wrestler grit, but more than that, I mean, there's a certain mentality. It's not just grit. There's a mentality of a wrestler that will look at anything and be able to conquer it, like mental toughness. They have that. Not saying HD doesn't, but wrestlers sometimes are on a whole nother level. I mean, they're insane people. So we'll see what Kai can do.
Exactly. I mean, and that's why, to be honest with you, some of the best guys in MMA, they are there because of their wrestling background. They learn that wrestling. They learn that mentality in wrestling. It translates to MMA. And that's why I think some of our best fighters have been MMA, because they got that same wrestling grit background, that mentality that came from wrestling. So that's where I feel like they've been able to beat the boxers many times, because the boxer has more skill, more athleticism, more reach, more range, but it doesn't matter if you don't have that mindset. And those wrestlers got the best mindset in the world.
It's crazy. They're like machines programmed. So we're going to see what happens in that fight. We're looking forward to that. Co-main event. I say it all the time. The first time I was around Big Ben Rothwell, his fist was so gigantic to me. I took a picture, and his fist is as big as my head. I wouldn't want to get hit by that thing. This guy, super heavyweight, taking on Todd Duffy. I mean, Ben Rothwell trying to stay undefeated. Todd Duffy debuting. This has fireworks and collision written all over it. These guys are going to beat the brakes off of each other. I'm pumped. A heavyweight battle like this, come on, let's do it.
That's definitely one of them where I feel like the judges can go sit down. They don't need to do anything. They can go get
a beer,
catch a break, do whatever, because I don't see this going the distance. I mean, Duffy, he's got some hands. I think he has like a 5-second knockout in the UFC. The guy has got power, and that's always the last thing to go, the power. Ben Rothwell has power. I think you'd have to give the speed and the athleticism, to Duffy, you know what I mean? But I mean, Rothwell's tough as can be, so this is going to be a fight. I don't know who's going to win, but somebody's getting knocked out.
Duffy can use that speed. Hopefully, he doesn't run into one of Ben Rothwell's fists, because that's going to be lights out. Because I don't know how anyone's going to withstand that. I mean, it's incredible. And then we look at the main event. This is the biggest fight we've ever had in bare knuckle, not only card, but fight in bare knuckle fighting championship history. It's for the King of Violence. I mean, what better title could you have in a sport that's full of bad son of a bitches, badasses? The King of Violence. It's Platinum Mike Perry taking on the Underground King himself, Eddie Alvarez. This is an exciting fight. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, Perry, he's established himself quickly, in my estimation, as one of the top faces of bare knuckle. Then you got Eddie Alvarez, a former UFC champion. This might be his toughest challenge yet. I can't wait to see who's going to be the King of Violence. Where are you at with it, Chris?
I mean, to me, the thing I love about this fight right here is to me, the King of Violence title means more than the champ. I don't think these guys think like that. Think, I want to be the champ. I mean, Eddie's already been there twice. Mike Perry he loves this sport, and he loves what he is now. He has been the face of it. So I think both these guys, this is more important than getting the title. They want to come in here and they want to show who is the toughest guy out there. They both say this is what they are. You have to be a dog in this. You got to be able to take it, deliver it, do everything you have to do to be able to come out there and win. This is a more pure form of fighting than any other form of fighting in the world right now. And these guys think they are the best. They're out to prove it. That's the most important thing to them, being the King of Violence, being the toughest guy in the room, in any room you ever go in. That's what these guys are fighting for right now. I mean, they've already got their legacy intact. Now that's just for bragging rights and just for knowing who's the toughest guy in the world.
Yeah, I know, and that's important. That's important to the fans, too. They're excited about it. Let us know in the chat who you think is going to win. You can give us a lot of picks, but right now we're talking about King of Violence, Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez. The fans, not to be cliche, they're the winners here with this whole card, man, in my estimation. It's incredible. It's a great card coming up. We're excited about it. I know you're excited to get to Salt Lake City. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about the city itself. Apparently, it's beautiful. I'm looking forward to, seeing the inside of a hotel room, the inside of an arena. Hopefully, I can see other stuff, too, when I'm there. I'm not going to go skiing. I'll probably break both of my legs. Are you a skier? Do you ever ski?
No, man, I've only been skiing twice in my life, man. So, I mean, I've been busy trying to focus on fights and do all kinds of real stuff. I'm a busy guy, man.
You said real stuff.
Not the cards, dude.
I said real stuff. Yeah, did you ski or did you roll? Were you rolling down the hill? How was your ski?
No, I got balance. I'm an athlete, so I can actually ski. My problem always was I never learned how to stop. So I would literally ram into people, boom, and just knock people down. Be like, sorry, my bad. And people would fall on top of me. I skied twice. I didn't know how to stop. And it wasn't like the good snow. It was like the fake snow. So I'm going straight down the mountain like real fast. I never learned how to turn. It go as fast down as you can. That's all I know how to do.
That's a fun way.
Screaming out your face. But I'm just a maniac with stuff like that. So I will go as fast as I can and just either fall down or run into people.
Why does that not shock me?
We do need to go skiing someday just together.
Yeah, we won't end up coming. One of us will be in a body bag on the way back, it sounds like it, because I'm the same way. You just want to go. I've been skiing like 3 or 4 times, and it was just going, they say go sideways, so you have more of a run. I tried the moguls. I thought I broke my knees. It was terrible. I rolled down there.
I still want to go whitewater rafting last year. You guys...
I
don't care what you say.
Hey, Lytle's always trying to plan field trips for us. She's like a homeroom mom, like a parent for the class. And you know what? I agree. We have to go whitewater rafting. That's something I would do, and we'll get some footage for the show. It'd be great. You'll see me flying through the air. Chris will be ripping me back down to the raft. It'd be great, like Heckle and Jekyll. Chris, lights out, Lytle. I'm excited to see you in Salt Lake City. I'm excited that you came on today, and I'm excited for the big fight, BKFC 56, BKFC.com. You can find out more. Grab the app. It's all on there. It tells you how to watch the fight, and if you grab the app, it'll probably be a little cheaper for you if you do it that way too. But Chris, thanks for coming on. I almost want you to do the Lytle strut out of your box there on the screen, but I know you can't. You won't do it. There's no room.
Yeah, you'll see me. You'll see me this week. I'll teach you how to do it properly.
You walk so cool. All right. Everyone's excited in the chat about Chris Lights Out Lytle. We're going to let him go. We'll see him in Salt Lake City, Utah. Excited for BKFC 56. Lights out on Chris Lytle. Thanks for hanging out, buddy.
See you guys.
See you, man. Chris Lytle, always fun when he comes on. I like when he breaks stuff down. It's enjoyable. The guy has insights that me or you may or may not have. If we have them, we feel good. If we don't have them, we learn something. So it's always a good time. Got President David Feldman coming on in a couple minutes. But before we get to that, I want to do some introducing here. I want to talk to you about some of the newer fighters. Of course, this first guy, I think he has it queued up. Ben. Not Big Ben. Big Ben's in the chat. Big Ben's in the co-main event. I almost just nicknamed him Big Ben. Ben Moa. Ben Moa, super nice guy. He'll tell you more about himself in this little quick clip because we want you to get to know these fighters if you don't know them. It's introducing Ben Moa. What are they going to see when they watch you fight, and why would you tell them to buy a ticket to watch you fight?
See me when you watch me fight. I mean, you'll see me when I walk out. I'm completely like I come out like I'm like okay, I'm gonna freaking make my mean face. And I'm gonna come out and I walk out, and then the music hits, and then something just takes over my damn body. I start dancing like a damn stripper. It's super weird, but like I absolutely love to fight, and I absolutely am gonna try to knock out my opponent's head, and he's gonna do the same thing, and I'm gonna have fun doing it. I'm not a talk shit guy and I'm gonna beat your ass. We're just gonna go out there. I mean, and we're gonna knock the shit out of each other. And I mean, he's gonna try to knock me out. I'm gonna try to knock him out in the first round, and then away we go, because it's gonna be all out, no breaks, just straight gas.
And now BKFC coming to Utah, Salt Lake City Maverick Center for BKFC 56. That's December 2nd. Huge show, biggest show we've ever done. What's that like? What's that like to be fighting in your hometown? Is that added pressure? Is that excitement? Where are you at with that?
No, I'm very excited to fight in front of my hometown. Usually when I fight here, I mean, we sell out. A lot of people come out to support me. A lot of people know me here primarily from my football career, but like they show a lot of love out here, support. They come out, they get crazy, they get rowdy. It's pretty cool.
Let's talk about your football career in the NFL. I believe you played for 2 different teams. Just kind of explain to us how long you had in the NFL and what you did.
So I played my college football here in Utah at the University of Utah for 3 years. I got picked up by the Miami Dolphins in 04 and 05. Played there for Nick Saban and Dave Wannstedt. And then I got got picked up off of waivers by the Jets for Coach Mangini. So and that was it. 6.
Do you take some of what you learned from the NFL and just being that high level athlete into fighting?
Yeah. So like big crowds don't mess with me. Like I actually like pressure, and I like performing in front of like a lot of people, and so like kind of like it's right up my alley. I don't feel a lot of pressure fighting in front of everyone. I mean, I also own a gym here, and I train about 300 or 400 athletes, and a lot of those kids come out. So I'm wearing this BYU shirt because I got 2 sons that play at BYU, and those college players. And a lot of those kids will be there. So, like, there's a lot of pressure for me, but I mean, I love pressure. My wife gets nervous, but I absolutely love pressure. I love putting on a show for people. I love the roar of the crowd. I mean, I just love it. Bare Knuckle is like the ultimate, like, man shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so like, I fought MMA, and my record in MMA is 9-2, amateur and pro. But I love the roar of the crowd. I love
Ben Moa loves the roar of the crowd. So I'm excited to see him. He's fighting Leo Bashir's brother, I believe it is, Bridger Bashir. That'll be a fun fight. We're going to get to know Mike Jones. Who? You want to get to know Mike Jones real quick? Mike Jones who? Let's look into Mike Jones. He's got a big fight coming up, too, at BKFC 56. Why Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship for you? I mean, it's not a normal job. I always say that. Even in combat sports, it's not a normal job. What brings you here?
I love to fist fight people. I love to get in a good old-fashioned fight. So in MMA, my style's always been really boxing heavy anyways. All my wins have become – I'm a wrestler before anything. I've wrestled since I was 4 years old. I've never won by submission. I don't really take people down. I just like to get in there and fight. And then started seeing the bare knuckle stuff coming up, and they held the tryouts at my gym where I train. So my coach was like, "Hey, I think you could do really well at this. It's a new sport. Let's jump in and see what happens." So when the tryouts came, I just showed up, and I'm always down for a fist fight.
What's it feel like to not only be on such a big show, but do it in your home state, like close to your hometown, it sounds like?
Oh, I'm blessed, man. I just couldn't ask for a better debut. Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez. I've been watching Eddie Alvarez since I was a kid. Mike Perry, I've seen all his stuff. I mean, it's a cool card to be on. So yeah, I'm just lucky that they like me and put me on this card.
So you think that Eric, you're fighting Eric, and do you think that you just went down kind of who he's fought? And he's fought some tough guys, you're right. And this is your debut. I mean, is that like a challenge where you're like, oh, I'm excited for this challenge? I mean, be honest with me. Let's be real. Or you're like, I wish I had a little bit of softer landing on my debut. Where are you at with that? Are you one of those guys that wants to kind of get your feet wet or jump into the fire?
No, let me jump in the fire. It's a good matchup for me, I believe. My whole MMA career, if you look at my record, I've lost to nothing. My losses are only to guys that are in the UFC or moved on to a bigger promotion. I've always fought tough guys. I've never said no. They've all been on short notice. And this one's no different. I'm 33 years old. I ain't getting any younger. I'm trying to get in there, fight the tough dudes, try to make it to the top as quick as I can. So if I get through Lozano, then I'm gonna be asking for someone up there in the top 10, top 5.
I just want to know how many times you've heard this throughout your whole life. Mike Jones, who?
Hey, man, 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low, my whole life. Dude, that was popular when I was in high school. So, yeah, I walk out to those songs. That's like my walkout songs is the Mr. Jones by Mike Jones. I just kind of embrace it now. I used to hate it, but
it's awesome.
Now we embrace it.
Dude. Embrace it. Embrace this big fight coming up with Eric Lozano, too. It's going to be a test for Mike Jones. We're looking forward to that this Saturday night. Now, keep in mind, we normally do Fridays. Don't forget, put it in your phone, put a reminder. It's Saturday night, BKFC.com. You want to find out more. That's going to be another amazing fight. Before we get to David Feldman, I know he's waiting patiently. I have one more thing I want to get to, and I have a question for him out of this. Esteban with the Mohawk, the Hawk himself. Let's show the article that they put up at BKFC.com or on the app, wherever. We put some great articles up. You should really be hitting that almost daily to see these great articles. But the thing I always wonder, I talked to G the Cutman about this. There's Esteban. You're learning more about him and, throughout the article. But the thing I always notice is his Mohawk. This guy comes ready with this Mohawk that's like straight up. And I had a bet with G the Cutman one time how many rounds it would last. And it's amazing how he's in a bare knuckle fight and this guy's Mohawk. Show the Hawk. We don't need the pic. Show the Hawk. Zoom in. Can you zoom in? Look at the Hawk. The Hawk is on point. That looks like it's probably maybe after one of his fights. It's always up. It doesn't fall. So what round, not is the opponent going to fall or is he going to fall? What round does the Mohawk fall? That's what I always like to try to figure out. I'm going to say if this goes to round, I've seen it. I've predicted like round 2, round 3. I'm going to say the Hawk's going to be intact probably through round 4 if it goes that far. And I don't know if it'll make it through round 5. I don't mean the fighter. I mean the hairstyle. David Feldman, the president of the organization, is valuable time stopping in, so I'm going to ask him a very valuable question. How long will his Hawk last? How long will his Mohawk last?
I don't know, man. Hopefully the whole entire fight.
What an answer.
Hopefully it doesn't poke someone's eye out.
That's an answer.
Actually, when I was looking at it, I was like, damn, is that even legal?
Yeah, somebody punches it, their hand gets caught in it, it's like stuck like a porcupine.
Let Esteban know I'm cutting his hair.
That's right. Loser loses all their hair. That might not work for that match, actually. One already has... Anyway, so we appreciate you coming in today, Dave, especially before the biggest show that you've ever put on. This is huge. BKFC 56. Chris Lytle's excited. He was just on talking about it. I know you've been excited. I've seen you at the office. This is huge. From where we came from to where we're at now, just talk a little bit about this show and what it means to you as the man who started this Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
You know what's funny? It's actually... people from the outside looking in are like, oh, they're doing the biggest show ever. This must be great for them. They don't understand
You're right.
The sleepless nights, the stress, the trying to find everything ready to do to make this fight right. But at the end of the day is come Saturday night, it's going to be an unbelievable night for bare knuckle fighting around the world. It's going to be an unbelievable night for BKFC. It's going to be an unbelievable showcase for our fighters, for the talent that we have on our roster, 3 championship matches, 3 other matches that could be main events anywhere else in the entire world. 5 undercard matches that I think are looking to steal the show, each and every one of them, just like Esteban. It's going to be an amazing night for us. We're going to be right around the 10,000 people mark in Salt Lake City. Will be our biggest crowd we've ever had.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be I'm excited, but here's what I'm really excited about, Brian.
Oh, he's been waiting to break this out. He's going to show it.
This got shipped to my house, and I was happy, man, and I've showed everybody this, but this is the King of Violence belt.
It's beautiful.
This is the real King of Violence belt. And I think it is a badass belt. I take my hat off to our guy Jeremy, who designed this thing, who made it happen, who made sure that our belt manufacturer was able to get it done, and he did a hell of a job. But look at that belt.
That's beautiful.
King of Violence, and that's going to be for the most violent guy in bare knuckle fighting championship come Saturday night, Mike Perry or Eddie Alvarez. Now I was with Eddie Alvarez the other day because I did a radio show with him, and man, did he look good at 185 pounds, which he was, about 10, 11 pounds over. Man, he looked really, really good. I'm excited for that fight, because I think a lot of people are going, Mike Perry's way too big. He's way too strong. He's going to walk right over him. But, man, I'm really, really excited for that fight because I think Eddie's going to give him a handful. I really do. I don't know who's going to win. And then we got Ben Rothwell versus Todd Duffy. And a lot of people don't know Todd Duffy because he hasn't been around for a few years. But he's coming to fight. He can punch. He has one of the top, I think, 5 fastest knockouts in UFC history. So, I mean, that's going to be great, too. 3 championship matches. And then Jimmy Rivera versus Jeremy Stevens.
And what a great fight that is all the way down the card. So the next question is, and we've talked about this privately, not me and you, other people in the office wondering as we're stressed out, trying to make this event the best one ever. Why? Like I know you do things big. We've seen it before. But why put so many amazing fights on this one super card that you could have gotten like 4 cards out of this? Did you do it for the fans, like a Christmas gift? Why did you do it?
I mean, really, it is for the fans. It's just to get everybody real excited about the sport. Like some people go, why are they putting this money into these guys or these guys? But at the end of the day is we're going to sell 10,000 tickets. We're going to do pay-per-views all out, all throughout the world. We got major sponsorship. It's going to be viewed in I think 82 different countries around the world. So I mean, there's a lot of big stuff that's going on about this fight to make bare knuckle fighting very successful around the world. Not just BKFC, but bare knuckle fighting.
I agree.
As I say a lot that a lot of people don't know, June 2nd, we were the first legally sanctioned bare knuckle fighting event ever. We weren't the first bare knuckle fighting event ever. We were the first legally sanctioned and regulated one. Right now, there's almost 80 around the world.
Yep.
So, I mean, the trend of bare knuckle fighting is going crazy worldwide. And when we put events like this on, it gets everybody in the world talking about it. And it just helps the whole sport grow, but it really helps BKFC grow. And that's why we're doing it.
Other promoters should be sending you thank you notes, not writing some things they may write about you. So
it doesn't matter.
Haters means you made it, bro.
But it's okay. Look, man, we focus on us, right? We really do. Some people put some stuff out. Did I not like this organization or did I not like that organization? Man, look, anyone that's out there busting their ass, gambling everything they have on their sport, on their promotion, man, I take their hat off to them. I mean, I take my hat off to them. I really, really do. And I want everybody to succeed. And if everybody can succeed, that's great. But obviously, I want us to succeed first.
I agree.
And I think we're going to. But if everybody,
Yeah.
what some of these other rival promoters in bare knuckle don't understand, that if we all succeed, so many more people are now watching bare knuckle.
The water goes
and
up.
the whole sport rises. But
raises.
they go, I'm better than this guy, and then this guy's better than that guy. I could care less. Really, I just want to put on a hell of a show, and I know that we're going to have 10,000 screaming fans there for the best show that we've ever done. You're going to be in the ring pumping them all up. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing night. Listen, it's been the most stressful 2 weeks of my entire career. This 2 weeks, putting this together, getting some things done that we had to do. Really, truly, it's been the most stressful 2 weeks that I've ever had. Like literally, I might have slept 10 hours in the past 2 weeks. But I know come December 2nd, it's going to be an amazing, amazing time for all of us. And we're all going to be able to, kind of reap the rewards of this thing.
Because we're putting the work in, and I think it's going to be great for the fans, too. And I think that we truly care about the fans at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. We always tell you that. And with cards like this, you can definitely see that. Get the King of Violence belt. Got the King of Bare Knuckle here with us, David Feldman. Excited to talk to him a little more. Dave, as far as let's look. First of all, I'm so sorry. How was your Thanksgiving? I didn't ask you that.
It was good. It was definitely good.
Did you eat a lot of juicy bird, or?
You know what, man? Honestly, man, was working so hard, man, and I just got back. Actually, I went away for 2 days. I went away for 2 days on the weekend before to take my wife away for her birthday.
Oh, that's nice.
And came back on Monday and just jumped right back into the grind.
Did you feel refreshed?
It was Dave Jr.'s birthday on Thanksgiving.
I didn't even know that.
So it was my son's birthday. So
happy birthday, Dave.
Got to go up there and spend a little time with them.
Hold on, time out. Would you sing happy birthday to your son live here on the Bare Knuckle Show? We can
Let's
do it
do it.
together.
Ready?
Really? 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Junior.
Happy birthday to you. We all didn't know what to call him, like Dave Jr.
Nah, he
Happy birthday.
It was
buddy.
cool. No, it was good to get a little downtime, and then we jumped right back in there in the office on Friday and knocked out a bunch of stuff. I mean, we're gearing up for the biggest show we've ever had, right? I mean, there is really no days off. And then we jump right back into planning for 2024.
Where are we at? This is all well and good, but where are we at with the TV deal stuff? Is there any more? You've mentioned this before. Is there any more movement on that? Is there? Are you seeing more excitement when we put on events like this throughout the industry of fighting and TV and media?
Yeah, 2 of the top execs will be at this event. They actually just confirmed this morning that both of them will be there from 2 different networks.
Fantastic.
So fingers crossed, everything goes off as planned. The crowd's nuts. The fights are awesome. You know, and everything goes good. Nobody gets seriously injured, and we walk out of there all real happy from a great event and looking forward to the future for what we might have at one of these TV deals. I mean, there's some really, really big things on the works. I actually had another call this morning for something else that we've been working on. So many really, really big things for next year. I'm just really excited about it, and I'm excited for the team, and I'm excited for the fighters, man.
I'm excited for it too. Let's talk quickly about. I know you mentioned this last week, and you mentioned before the show that it was the bucked up moment of the week. You thought. I thought I was going to get in trouble for it. I think we have it queued up. The bucked up moment of the week from last week. What happened at the end of the show? I just wanted your reactions to this, Dave.
That was amazing. It was amazing. I actually sent it to Ryan Gardner, and he was like,
"Well, who's Ryan Gardner?"
Ryan Gardner is the president and CEO of Bucked Up.
I didn't know you did that. What did he say?
I sent it to him. He was like, "Oh my God, is he okay?" I said, "He does crazy stuff like that all the time. He's good." He goes, "That was amazing."
I'm glad he liked it. Show him what the can looked like afterwards. We have a picture of that. This is the can. I'm so lucky it didn't slice my head like my wrestling days.
That's crazy. You need to sign waivers.
Yeah, I should.
Yep.
Didn't I sign a waiver when I got here?
You did.
I signed a bunch of stuff. I don't even know what I signed. Could you tell me at some point? Maybe I'd sign my life away. The other thing, I'm glad you liked that. I'm glad that entertained you, me harming myself. The other thing I want to talk about is this BKFC 56. It's a huge deal. Everybody's getting ready for it. We've been talking to everybody on the card. The fans are excited. Everybody's excited. Christine Faria, Beck Rawlings rematch. A lot of people, fans looking forward to that, myself included. Christine is ready. Beck's ready. Matter of fact, we have some training footage I want to show you of Christine Faria getting ready for her fight. You see she's boxing. You missed it, but she ran up top of this hill. It was a big hill she ran up before this happened.
Is she in Utah?
I don't know. She may be there now. I don't know if this was filmed in Utah. This she's doing, I call them bear crawls up the hill. She does some down the hill too. She's ready, man. I've never seen Christine more focused, and I don't want to say arrogant because she's not. She has respect for Beck, but she said, I told Lytle earlier that she felt her last fight, and it's a completely not what she expected, and that she. You
just took the words out of my mouth. I was just about to say I don't think she expected that Beck to show up, and when that Beck showed up, she was like, "Wow, I'm in for a fight," and I think she really went in and dug deep on this training camp. And I think we're going to see a different Christine, but I also think we're going to see a Beck that is now even more confident, that thinks that she can beat Christine. So all in all, it should be just a great. I wanted to make that rematch from the time that fight got stopped, because I was like, that was just heating up. Like that.
I was watching
great.
you during the fight. I knew you wanted to. But the thing is with that, the interesting story, I'll call it, to this fight is that they both think they have each other figured out. Do they? We're going to see. So
we're going to find out. But I mean, there's nothing better than 2 women in that squared circle banging it out, and man, just putting on a hell of a fight for the fans. It's going to be amazing. We also have a rematch of Mick Terrell versus Arnold Adams, which I'm really looking forward to for this reason. Is I thought that Mick Terrell started out pretty good in that fight. He got hit. He went down. He said that he was sick from COVID prior to that.
That's what I'd heard. Okay,
going into
true.
it,
Okay.
and that it took it away from him. So now we're going to see, right? We're going to see.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Great guy. Mick Terrell is a great guy, tough guy. And we're going to see, was it COVID that affected him, or was it just that Arnold Adams had too much power for him?
It could
That's
be
what we're going to find, right? Absolutely.
They're both viable things.
Arnold Adams has showed that he's been in dogfights with Dylan Kleckler, for instance, got dropped, got back up, and knocked him out. I mean, this guy's got dog in him.
Sure does.
Mick Terrell's got dog in him. So this is going to be
Let the dogs out,
fight.
baby. I love it. The other thing I wanted to show you, I mean, I'm excited for that fight. I feel like the heavyweights, because the card's so big, they haven't been really getting that much coverage what they deserve. I'm excited for all these fights. The other thing, I know you're a former pro fighter. I know that you look at some of the fighters we have. You help maybe sometimes sign people to contracts. That's correct to say, I would guess. So I want to know if my training. I saw what Christine Faria was doing. So before the show, I'd film some of my training. I want to know what you think about my training, how this works out. Let's take a look at my training, just like Christine Faria.
Knees up! Knees up! Knees up! All fours! Shit!
I didn't know that bush was there. Honestly, that shit hurt.
I think you're ready to go, man.
Who's my first fight, man? Let's book it in the new year. We'll get it ready.
Jeff Houston.
Yeah, that'll be a brawl. He'll say hello, 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 and I'll say goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Book it. Let's go.
Fight of the year candidate posse.
Fight of the year. Yeah, there's my training. I'm ready for a contract. Multi-fight. I will accept.
What fight are you most looking forward to on Saturday night?
Jeez, it's hard, Dave. That's a hard question because the main event, like everyone's saying, I mean, I don't know which way it's going to go, but I feel like there's fights on the card. I mean, I keep saying this Jeremy Stevens and Elter Rivera is low, but like I'm looking forward to that. But then you look at, here's the best thing in my opinion about this card. I'm not really answering your question because I can't. But you have these fights on top that are going to get the eyeballs. You know, you got the Mike Perry, Eddie Alvarez. That's the fight people want to see. You got Ben Rothwell, Todd Duffy. These super fights on top. That's for the mainstream, and some bare knuckle fans will love that too. But then as you go down the card, and you continue to see you have fights that just hardcore bare knuckle fans are going to go nuts for, and then you have other fights that they're going to go nuts for, but also the mainstream's going to go nuts for. It was a brilliant way to kind of set it up. That's why I'm so excited. God, it's hard.
You know, you see sometimes on some of these cars where someone gets hit and like just takes a knee and waves it off.
It's not happening.
That's it. I don't see any of these matches that are matched up that way.
No
I think they're going to go out and they're going to bang it out. And I am so excited about this card. I think from top to bottom, what a way to make our debut in Salt Lake City. But from top to bottom, you literally, there's 11 fights on that card. I would say you have 7 or 8 fighter than like candidates on that card.
I know. It's absolutely incredible. And I'm looking at this. Like, I really...
I can't pick any winners.
I'm trying to answer your question.
As being the president of the company, I can't pick a winner. Who do you have in the main event?
I'm a broadcast journalist.
You
I
can't
call
do
it right
it
down the
either.
middle, but I can try. Here's what I can say. We have a lot of fighters. We're going to get to that later. Fighters are predicting the main event. They're also predicting Christine Faria and Beck Rawlings. We're going to get to that in a couple minutes. I would say in the main event, King of Violence. It's so hard. I mean, Eddie's a Philly guy. I'm from Philly. He talks like I do. He sounds like me, so I feel very comfortable around him. He's a bad dude. Eddie's tough. Eddie's been in so many fights, but then you got this lunatic in Mike Perry. The weight difference is there, like we talked about earlier, but I don't see Eddie going down easily. Eddie's one of the toughest men I've ever met.
Like
I can't
you got this guy, Mike Perry, who seems like he's invincible. He's a Superman of bare knuckle right now, right? But then you got this guy, Eddie Alvarez, who you say, listen, you know, he's a little smaller than him. Does he hit hard enough? Can he take a punch good enough? And then you go, look at all the accolades he had. UFC champ, Bellator champ, champs from all different organizations, and he's fought forever. He got dropped, gets up, and wins fights.
There's no one else, but there's no one. It's from what you just said. There's no one else I can think of that should be fighting Mike Perry for the King of Violence title. Everything you just said is so true.
Listen, if you want to talk King of Violence on this aspect, this is why I was like, yes, let's do this. You got two guys, right? You got Eddie Alvarez and Mike Perry. Mike Perry from Flint, Michigan. I don't know if you know about Flint, Michigan.
I know Flint, yeah.
Flint, Michigan is one of the
nicest.
baddest places in the world to live.
Yep.
And then you got Eddie Alvarez.
Kensington.
From Kensington, Philadelphia. Kensington section of Philadelphia is the worst section of Philadelphia. It's one of the worst sections in the entire world. That's where he comes from.
It's crazy.
You got these guys that they didn't have this silver spoon in their mouth as an upbringing. Mike Perry versus Eddie Alvarez for the King of Violence championship. I mean, it couldn't be any better.
You talk about dogs and fights. Who has more dogs than these two guys that had to fight just to live back in the day? And then they didn't have a nice boxing
gym. The thing
or
that
anything.
a lot of people don't know is when I first started talking to Eddie Alvarez, he said the only way I'll sign is if I fight Mike Perry. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen.
He asked for it.
And then he signed. That was his first fight. I said, that's not going to happen. You'll fight Chad Mendez. And then if you win, we can talk about Eddie. And he's like, all right, I'll do that. And then he had a dog fight with Chad Mendez. Got dropped, got back up, dropped Chad Mendez. I mean, what a fight. Fight of the night.
It was awesome.
Great fight. And then you got Mike Perry, who's just walking through people, really. I mean, tough fight with Julian Lane. Look, let's take our hats off to our own Julian Lane.
Oh, my God.
Who gave him a hell of a welcome in the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Went over there, beat MVP, who a lot of people think he didn't have a chance with. And then
in the 6th round, I believe, too, right?
Knocked Luke Rockhold's teeth out. So, I mean, he's a guy who has a lot of dog in him, but Eddie Alvarez said he doesn't have a bigger dog in him than I do.
I know.
So we'll
Eddie had mentioned to me, he's like, when he signed that contract, we were talking privately, he said, like, that's the end of him. I will destroy him now. I have no problem with Mike, but I'm going to destroy him because I am the only king. He's been around forever, and he lays claim to it. Excuse me. So we're excited to see what happens. BKFC
so there was a
56.
title back in the day, though. It was Justin Gaethje versus Eddie Alvarez, and they were calling it back then. I forget the baddest or the most violent, the most violent
Would you rather
person.
the most violent?
And he beat Justin Gaethje back then. Now he's graduating into the king of violence.
So I'm saying most violence one thing, and then there's the king. That's another level. So we'll see what Eddie can do.
I'm excited, man. I'm really excited.
Fireworks written all over it. It's going to be a great broadcast. We're looking forward to that. Dave, I mean, do you have anything else you want to talk to the viewers about before I let you go?
I just want to say thank you to the viewers. Like truly, especially the guys watching this show. You're the hardcore fans. Thank you for supporting us through good and bad. Look, there's great things we did, and you said you guys are the best, and there's things that we screwed up and we fucked up on, and you guys say you guys suck. And thank you for that, because that made us want to perform better. Please support us this weekend. We need everybody's support to make this the biggest and baddest combat sports organization in the world. So please support us. You're getting every penny of your money worth. $49.99 for pay-per-view. If you're an app subscriber, it's $29.99. Please support us on this. And I'm not asking so we can get rich. I'm asking so we can put more and more events like this on. Just support us on this. Make this the best and the biggest bare knuckle fighting event we've ever had.
I agree. What transparency, because I always say that we're very transparent. We're in this with you. We're in this with the fans. We've kind of grown this together. You know, we're doing some hard work. You guys are promoting to your friends and everything like that. You're smashing the like button on this show, which I appreciate that. And you do that too when you see the preview, the freeview that we do on Instagram and everything. So continue that. I love the fact that you just sat here and thanked the fans. You don't hear that often. And the fact, you're right, they do. They've really shit on us before, but we needed to hear that. And it's made us so much
good
better.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I want to hear the good and bad. I really do, because look, some of the bad is bullshit and some of the good is bullshit. But the good and bad, so we know what we're doing right, and we know even more importantly what we're doing wrong, so we can correct.
I want to tell you this in that vein. You've been getting, you haven't seen them, a ton of emails, a ton about what you're doing correct, and I want to compliment you on the new Bare Knuckle Show with Brian Soscia. People are going absolutely wild over it. There's no hate mail coming in, is there, Brandon? Broken Brandon? Is there hate mail coming?
What are all the middle finger emojis coming up right now?
I haven't seen any. I haven't seen any hate mail.
I'll give you $50 later. Can you pay him double for saying that?
Nah, man, really, just one more time. Thank you, guys. Really, truly, thank you. Please tune in Saturday night, because it'll be the most fun you've ever had at a fighting event.
Yeah, and you're helping us grow. If you love it, you're helping us grow the product even more. Like he said, it's not about getting rich. I'm far from getting rich. I enjoy doing this, and I just, personally, I feel the same way. Tune in, give us a support, and we'll give you everything we have. The fighters will, the backstage people will, everybody on the show, the people in the truck. We're dead at the end of these shows, so we're going to be double dead at the end of this one. Make sure you enjoy it. I know you will. Dave, thanks for coming in. I'm excited for you to see how much the product has grown, and here we are now. Who would have thought BKFC 56?
That's crazy, man. But it's going to be a great event, man. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Don't leave your King of Violence belt here, or I will steal it. I'll sell it back to you.
All right.
Thanks, Dave. There goes David Feldman, the president, the founder of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. He'll be in Salt Lake City, Utah. Dave, a very nice guy. He's walking out with the King of Violence title right now. He's coveting that thing. He's not letting it out of his sight. This is a big deal, the King of Violence, man. As we just talked about, there's only one King of Violence, and it should be here in Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And we were talking about the card with Chris and with Dave as well. Some other stuff I wanted to get into while we have a couple more minutes is people picking predictions. People are picking predictions for a lot of different fights, but the ones that we want to spotlight now, Christine Faria and Beck Rawlings. That was the first one. We asked some other fighters from the organization where they're at with this. Let's go to the first one here. It is Kasim Ruffin, the Caution. Caution, what a great nickname. He says that Faria wins. He says, Faria wins, but I love this. Faria wins, but I like Beck, though, so I'll be rooting for her. Tell her to DM me. So there you go. DM him, Beck. He wants to hear more from you. DM HR. I don't know what will happen there, but we'll find out. Maybe he just wants some training. Crystal Pittman, let's check in with a woman from the women's part of the fighting card, the women's organization, part of the organization. She says, while I think Beck is going to be putting up a wonderful fight, it's hard to go against experience. Christine has risen to every occasion, so I'm picking Faria in a potential fight of the year. And I'm reading this, obviously, the quote she said. Crystal Pittman sounds nothing like that. She doesn't sound like this voice. Let's go to Papa G, man. Love Papa G. Papa G says, I think that Christine will make quick work of Beck Rollins. Quick work, well, okay. And she'll get the TKO inside of the first. That's what he's saying. Again, drop your comments in the comment section. We want to see what you're saying. Then we go to Zach Calamus. Zach says that Christine Faria is the champion, and you never vote against the champion. He believes that she's more technical in all aspects of her game, as well as a better all-around athlete. And that means, in Zach's estimation, the champ is here to stay. So there's the predictions, of course, from some of the fighters in the card. We like to see what they're saying, and now you're up to date on all that. The other thing I want to get into is I want to talk about Mike Perry, we just kind of did, versus Eddie Alvarez, and get some predictions on that. So as we go through some of these, this is a little more in detail. Some people being asked who they think is going to win this fight. So let's talk about that. And I think I apologize here. There we go. That's why. All right. So let's talk about Jared Warren. Captain Deadpool had a great fight. We just saw that in the UK in Leeds. Captain Deadpool saying he thinks that Perry will take it by decision. He doesn't think he'll knock Alvarez out, though. He doesn't think Alvarez will knock him out either. It's tough to predict this one because most of Perry's fights have been very close, and Alvarez's one fight has been very close too. With Perry having more experience and naturally being a bigger fighter, I think he takes the decision. So we talked about this earlier, that people think with the weight on him that he has on Eddie, I should say that Mike has on Eddie, that's going to be the deciding factor. Captain Deadpool agrees. Jared Warren, thank you for that. Let's go to JR, the Lion Ridge. Love this guy. He says, sheesh. Oh, he's taking my line. Oh, sheesh. He said, sheesh. That's all I can say for this fight is sheesh. Very exciting matchup. It's stylistically intriguing with Mike Perry walking you down with bricks for hands and a jaw of metal. That's a good way to put it. And Eddie Alvarez is very skillful putting combos together. He's so right about this. I'm going to have to go with Perry, though, on this one. If Eddie can stick and move and cut Perry early, it will be the best, but I don't think Eddie will be in good enough shape to withstand the forward pressure. And Perry comes with that forward pressure. You know that. Perry by unanimous decision. That's JR's Lion Ridge's prediction. Big boy Blake Lacaze. There he is, man. He says Perry has fun with war, whereas Alvarez is a quick striker. In bare knuckle, it's all about who lands the first hard shot. So Blake is saying he picks Eddie to pull off the upset. What will be a very entertaining fight. Then we look at James Get Down Brown, one of my favorite nicknames in all of fighting. Bare knuckle fighting was literally made for Mike Perry, he says. I don't see Eddie Alvarez finishing him, but I also don't see Perry finishing the tough Alvarez. Perry by unanimous decision. And Chancey Wilson weighs in. Superfly. He says, I'm a fan of Perry and Eddie, and all I hope is for them to beat the shit out of each other and entertain us all around the world. I think a lot of people are hoping for that as well, Chancey, and I think that they're going to do that. And it seems like a lot of people are agreeing with you, Chancey, because when you look at it, a lot of people are saying this is going to go 5 rounds. They're not going to knock each other out. They're just going to beat the hell out of each other. So that gets me even more excited. Now the fighters are saying that as well. Not just me, not just Dave. Everybody's saying that. And then we look at Luis Baboon Palomino. He's ready. He's claiming that if one of these guys gets hurt, he's going to jump in. He will be there if as the alternate, I guess we'll call him. That's what I'm being told. But he's ready for after the fight. Here's what he put up. If you check this out, he's getting ready in the gym. He's staying always ready. Luis Baboon Palomino. He said he wants the winner of the Eddie Alvarez fight. Eddie Alvarez versus Mike Perry fight. There you go. And he says that he'll do his next title defense in February as promised, but the next fight has to be the winner of this fight. That's a fight that I want to see too. So he's got a title defense that sounds like coming up in February. We're excited about that. I believe we're in Hollywood, Florida. I'm not breaking anything. I think that we probably will see Baboon on that fight. I'm looking forward to that to see what we're going to see out of him, man. We're looking forward to a lot of stuff coming up for this BKFC 56. If you're in town, man, everything's happening. It's going to be awesome. I'll get to that in just a minute. But before we go, we're doing predictions, right? We're doing predictions about the fight. And I want to throw a quick prediction out there from Big Ben Rothwell. This is what he had to say about the fight when we had an exclusive chat with him.
I am not I'll just be frank. I'm not going to really give a prediction because I really care about both guys. I'm obviously a huge Platinum backer, but Eddie's an awesome guy too. I met Eddie on his 4th fight ever in New Jersey, and it was 2005. You know, I was on the card, and it was cool because I was still to myself, I felt like I was a nobody, and Eddie thought I was a big deal then. And he comes up, he's like, "Oh, Mr. Ben Rothwell," and said hi to me. And I always, I've always been backing Eddie since then too. So it was pretty amazing for me to watch Eddie from then, and go on to win multiple titles and do what he's done. So I really like both guys. And for me, I'm just sad that they have to fight each other. But let me tell you, the fans are in for it because that is going to be one hell of a fight.
The common denominator here, Broken Brandon, is that everybody's saying the same thing. And the fans are in for it. It's going to be one hell of a fight. And I would say, he didn't say it. He's I guess he doesn't want to toot his own horn, but Ben Rothwell, Todd Duffy, going to be a hell of a fight. The whole card going to be a hell of a fight. Listen, I'm not going to break a bare knuckle, bucked up can or whatever off my head today against doctors' recommendations. Maybe we'll start that again in the new year, so I hope you're not disappointed by that. Something I know you won't be disappointed by is BKFC 56, man. Salt Lake City, a few tickets still remaining. If you're in that area, drive to it. If you're hours away, drive to it. This is history in the making. You don't want to miss it. BKFC 56, not this Friday, but this Saturday. Make sure you're tuned in if you're new to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. What a card to pop your cherry, man. BKFC.com. Find out more. We are on the road to Knucklemania. We're going there too, to BKFC 56. The road to BKFC 56. This is it. I'm pumped. This is almost bigger than a Knucklemania card, the biggest one we've ever done. We'll see you in Salt Lake City, Utah. Let's go. Don't forget, get bucked up and knuckle up. Man, I want to do it. Should I do it? I'm going to do it gently today. Ah! All right, go. Well, I can't. The doctor's going to yell at me. I'm going to have a head injury here. Let's go, baby. Here we go, Utah. Ah!
Straight punches from Beck Rawlings. A big shot, and down goes Louis Lopez. Big right hand, and down goes Jeff Siffins. Clubbing right hand, another right hand. And down goes Dylan Kleckler, trying to throw a punch as he fell. There's a big right hand, and down goes Sam Shoemaker for the second time.